Hey everyone, Brandon from Goalorious, where we focus on goals, gains, and giveaways. Today we're going to talk about why people fail in the crypto market. So I'm going to be talking about a couple of things, why I feel, again, my opinion, people who jump into the crypto market, maybe they're from the stock market, maybe they're just new, why they end up not being able to, make money. Maybe they lose money, unfortunately. Maybe they just get confused and maybe just make some common mistakes. But hopefully I'll cover some things today and hopefully educate you guys on some of the things that I've learned in the past being in the cryptocurrency space. Before we jump into the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys. But let's jump into the video right now. So here we are. Why do people fail in the crypto market? So a couple things, but kind of the main thing that I want to talk about is purchasing high and selling low. So purchasing high and selling low is a mistake that most financial investors make. So this is when a project is like at an all-time high and you think it's going to keep going, and you're like, oh, I don't want to miss out, and you end up buying in, but then all of a sudden, since at an all-time high, it ends up crashing because people sell. I always have, and again, everyone's different, but I always have a rule to myself to never buy an all-time high, even though that I think it's going to go up. I just don't want to take that risk. But everyone could be different. If you really believe in a project, maybe they announce something, then you're like, oh, or if you know they announced something and you feel like it's a good time to get in. I think everyone is different, but for me, it's safer for me to figure out, okay, when I want to get in, and usually when it's at highest, it's not, ideal. What's more, this is one reason why retail investors don't benefit from trading or investment. Indeed, it makes individuals consistently lose their money at the point when the price falls. Individuals panic. So selling low. So the idea is kind of like from the opposite of buying high, is that if you see stuff going lower and lower and you're thinking, oh no, it's gonna go down to zero, and it goes lower than what you bought it at. So when you sell, you're obviously losing money, but you're kind of scared that at that point, like, I don't want it to go to zero. And I don't know, it's hard to tell if it was. Sure, you just have to come into the crypto space thinking anything that I invest could potentially be zero. That's definitely a possibility, but you just never know. That's why I always emphasize the fact that to do your own research when coming to crypto projects, figure out not only where they are, but where they're going. And so if they are going low, what's the reason it's doing that? Did a lot of people sell? Did it reach a part in the roadmap where it's stagnant? Did something happen? Did a whale sell, etc.? And it's really up to you. I can't make these financial decisions for you, but the idea is that people get scared that it's going low and they're fine losing some money, but they're afraid to lose it all. But the idea is that, you don't want to buy it one day and then all of a sudden the next day you check it less than 24 hours later, you're like, oh no, it's going down, and then you sell. I don't think that's really the best strategy, just because of the fact that, you're just trying to make quick money, you're paying fees, there's slippage that you have taken account, that you end up just losing money and your investment. Anyways, I think you really need to make a smart decision, and it's tough. I'm not saying that it's not tough, but I think you guys should really figure out, okay, if I'm putting this in, where I realistically think it's going to go, and where do I realistically think is a safe spot for me to sell. I always say that it's good when the prices go up to sell your initial investment. So if you, for example, if you put $10 in and your value goes up to $100, then you sell to get that $10 back. So you made your initial investment, everything else that's profit. So it's kind of like a bonus. Then I think it's there's less emotion attached to that. But the idea is you don't want to get too greedy, but also you don't want to, hold too long, I guess, is the point. But no one's ever going to know exactly when's the perfect time to sell. But the idea is if you have at least the information on the project and a strategy in mind, that you'll make the best decision possible. Most crypto investors can't clutch the investment and have no idea about the basic crypto. They float along with the market, right? You just don't want to hold forever, but you don't want to sell too quickly. So you have to find the best thing that works for you. No precise trading strategy. So going headfirst into the world of crypto trading without any strategy is like jumping off from the top of the Empire State Building. You will not survive the drop. So this whole idea here is make sure you have some sort of strategy of like, okay, I think realistically, this project is going to go 10x. When it reaches 10x, I'll be happy. Don't think that every project that you can invest in is going to get you $1 million. Think about how much you're investing, how much is it going to go up. Don't think too much about, oh, I have 1 billion tokens. That's a lot. Again, think about the supply, how much the value is, and how much you think it's going to increase. That's why I think roadmaps are super important. Trusting in the team, figuring out what they're releasing, when they're releasing it, and how that factors into everything that you're doing. Are they pushing the project? Are they in this for the long term? And figuring out, the best strategy for you. I think it's also, this is why I always harp on the idea of like, if you're investing money, don't jump into like 100 tokens. Not to say that I don't think those 100 tokens will do well. I just think it's like impossible to track every 100 token and everything, what to do with them. I can't even, sometimes if even I have 10 tokens, it's hard for me to track every project. When it goes up, it's usually only up for a while. So it's hard for me to track and figure out when to buy and sell. So if you have 100, it makes your life even harder trying to figure out, okay, I'm keeping track of all this, keeping track of all the roadmaps. When's the best time to sell? Keep it reasonable, keep it, a reasonable amount, and, track the ones that you most believe in and that you can come up with a good trading strategy for. Leverage, not understanding the calculations, how fast they get liquidated. For example, if you're trading 21 leverage, you get to earn $20. So this is just an example that we put together. If the price of your trade goes up by $2, but your investment loses and it goes down $2, and you also lose $20 because of the earnings when the price goes down. So again, there's different types of strategies, and I think the idea is figuring out what strategy works for you and understanding the benefits, but also understanding the consequences. You want to make sure that any money you put in, you could lose it, unfortunately, but that's the idea, is like, you don't want to be putting money that you need to pay rent or buy food. You're putting money that a specific percentage that you feel comfortable with of your total income or total savings that you want to help grow, etc. Crypto, like I always say, and everyone always says, crypto is very volatile. Crypto is unsafe. Crypto is, obviously there's some projects out there and some stable coins out there and things that are, good things to buy that are backed by strong companies, strong teams that are in it for a long run. But if you're just trying to make a quick buck from these projects that started like 2 hours ago, that don't have a roadmap, etc., you want to make sure that you're investing in the right projects and have realistic expectations and realistic strategies going into that. But again, just be careful of the risks. And then social media tips. I think the idea here I was trying to convey is that don't just believe social media. If someone, even like an influencer, is saying, like influencer like me or a YouTube channel or Twitter or TikTok or Instagram is saying, buy this is the next Bitcoin, just do your own research. Don't, because someone is saying something, someone is saying, oh, you better do this, or if you don't do this, or I'm doing this, don't take that as financial advice. Figure out what's best for you. These tips could be, you don't know if they're invested in that or if they're working with that project or sponsored by it. You want to make sure that you are following legitimate news sources, that you're doing your own research, and that you're not just believing anything that social media says. That's why every time I make a video, I say, do your own research. Don't just believe me. I'm not financial advice. I'm just talking neutrally about a project. You decide if that's something that you want to invest in. And I think that's the best way to go versus believing everyone else. And I think that's where it goes to my final point, which is FOMO, or fear of missing out. Just because other people are doing it doesn't mean that you should be doing it. If someone's saying they made $1 million off this token, doesn't mean you're going to make $1 million. Just try to figure out what works for you. Come up with a strategy. Don't really buy into what other people are doing. And just because other people are doing it doesn't mean you should do it. Really figure out what's the best plan for you, what's the best amount that you want to do, and when you want to do it. I know a lot of people will say, buy this now or get into the pre-sale now. But again, there's always going to be opportunities. You just have to figure out the right ones for you. And that goes into the main strategy that you're going to have, which you are going to be doing because you're going to be doing your own research and figuring out a plan that works for you. But that's essentially it. Let me know what you think in the comments. If there's other strategies, other reasons why people fail in the crypto space. But generally, I think being able to come up with a plan that works for you and investing, knowing the consequences, both good and bad, I think is important. And yeah, let me know. Hopefully, you'll learn from your mistakes. I mean, I made a ton of mistakes when I first started crypto, but I hope that in the grand scheme of things, that my winnings or earnings will outweigh some mistakes. And that's what I really say. Like, just because you fail in one part doesn't mean that you continue to fail. Learn, improve your strategy, improve your plan, and you'll definitely make money. So thanks everyone for watching. Catch you guys next time.